What is going on YouTube? Steven, the salon guy here, and I don't know if you guys remember, but this is Kevin. And Kevin was in one of my videos before. He's a coach, right? Yeah, and really, really knowledgeable, and he shared some great information with you guys. So definitely go check out that video. It was called like hottest bodybuilder on YouTube. What was the name? No. But that was me, not you. That was me. No, but it was like fitness. I know it was like
good hair and abs.
Good hair and abs. Yeah, it was kind of a interesting title, but like it was cool. But today, what we're doing on Kevin's hair is I'm actually going to give him a little bit of kind of like a hair makeover. And before I do that, I want to actually explain this to you guys so you can see why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So I'm ready to go. Let's get started. All right, so let's explain Kevin's hair a bit. I want to show you guys kind of the side profile. So what I'm going to do on the sides is I'm going to taper this up, probably like a 1.5, go into a 2. Keep it nothing too crazy in through here. Taper it down. Now what's happening in through here is when I immediately was diagnosing his hair and just kind of doing what I do, what you can see right here, it's disconnected right in through here, and then it's it's short and then it's long through here, right? So you got this kind of. Now, mainly, because maybe he likes to wear his hair back a little bit, but here's what happens, and this is a common thing. The hair grows forward this way, all right? So when you push the hair down, this is the best way to eliminate calyx or your hair sticking up, is you literally comb it in the way it grows. So what I like to do for this, I don't want him to have like a flat head right here, so instead, we're gonna cut this to kind of match up with this. So what's gonna happen is he can literally have some texture in through here, and work that towards the front, where we're gonna, leave a little length in the front here, enough so we can kind of brush it back, but we're really gonna transform the shape and add a lot more texture. Because see, what's happening is this is really just not doing anything for him. It's actually preventing all this hair from having some good movement. So we're gonna, reconstruct this. It's gonna be a lot more textured, a lot more full in through here. And also the grow out process is it's gonna look fairly good. Let's spin around the other side here. It's going to look good while it's growing out. The thing about having longer hair is it's easy to just, you brush it over. But it could also be a disaster too, where it's just like you wake up, your hair's all over the place. You get bedhead easily. You see stuff like this happens. And then on this side here, I'm going to create a little bit of a connection right in through here. So we're going to have a really, really nice haircut. And but I want you guys to really see the before. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of skim through the haircut. I'm not going to really be talking much through the haircut, but when we're done, I'll break it down and then we'll see the finished look.
Time has been so hard on us, my friend. Sun goes down, but we get back again. Trouble is a silly thing. It always ends up breaking, but everything still works out in the end. No matter what they call it, no matter what they want it, they don't know there's no way they'll ever get it. Wind just blows, but we keep on standing. We'll call it whatever that.
Okay guys, so here we are in kind of the middle stages of this haircut. I have to go back in and do a little scissor over comb here, do some blending in and stuff like that. He does wear glasses, so sometimes glasses causes like a little bit of a ridge in the skin here, but for the most part, I'm just gonna go back in and kind of do some scissor over comb. But what I wanted to really highlight so far is the difference in the head shape of what I've done. So prior to that, this had a very kind of lower elevation of the fading and the previous haircut. There was still, I think, a lot of hair in through here. And what I've done is I've actually raised that up here to make this more the focal point in through here to balance out, I think, the head shape and to give it much better structure. A lot of times when people are doing haircuts, they'll have this really, really low in through here, and it's kind of heavy and bulky in through here. But because he has, some calyx in through here, and his hair tends to be more of that kind of pokier, straight, thick hair, what needs to be done is it needs to be trimmed down. Now, as you guys can see on this side and through here, I haven't even done anything by hand yet, and look at the shape already. See the shape? Kevin, look in the monitor if you can see. And this side and through here. See how I've tamed that down? And I haven't even done anything by hand yet. Like I haven't even, but this was all, so now this whole thing in through here is already much more rounded and is following the head shape. And that's what I'm doing with the haircut. So when we get to this part and through here, you're really gonna see the transformation. All right, everyone, so here is the finished look. And this is with no product. What I want to do is just kind of break down what I did. So again, I kind of restructured the shape in through here. I started off with a number 1 and then faded it up, 1, used the different guards up to about I'd say like a 4 right in through here. And because I really wanted to make the transition and blend by hand into this area. So this is the foundation of it. Worked it all the way around. Again, I didn't really bring it too low here. I kept the elevation a bit higher right in through here to kind of follow the head shape and to also make a better connection with this part. Because prior to this, this was really short and this was like super long. And as you can see what I've done is I've actually created, everything is in sync now. So it actually has a much better flow to it, right? And it follows the head shape much better. And then continue the same thing on the other side. Did a nice taper in through here, nothing too crazy with the tapering, but really the big difference is also right in through this area here is where I connected this to give it a much more softer and better flow, whereas before it was so harsh that, when his hair grew out, it was just like, it was only could really grow out one way, and that was just really being pretty pokey in through here. So what I've done is I've actually worked this in together. And now this connection is going to really grow out much nicer. And as you can see, it's a seamless flow following his head shape all in through here and on this side as well. All right, so we've got this beautiful seamless shape going through here. And before, again, I mentioned the top. I cut a lot of the top right in through here because before this was really, really long. This was limiting his styling options. Again, he can only pretty much do one thing with it. And that was to kind of brush it over to go back, and then he was fighting this calican through here. So just from the head shape perspective and the shape perspective alone, we have a whole new haircut now, and it looks phenomenal. This is literally exactly what I was envisioning before. So this is with no product in it. Okay. What I did with the top is I cut this is probably about, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 inches the most, no more than that. Work this into the front. The front here, I left a little bit longer. I'd say probably 2.5 to 3 inches right into the very, very front here. I didn't want to have it too unbalanced, but what I did to make up for that is I went in and I did some point cutting and some texturizing and some freehand techniques to really give the hair that support. Because I just washed his hair, and aside from my shampoo being amazing, his hair feels really, really soft right now. But hair texture like this, you need to add some kind of, you have to disrupt the haircut a little bit by adding some different lengths and textures. So we're getting a lot of volume and texture with no product. And really the haircut is what's doing all that. So, this is the difference between, I spend about an hour cutting my clients, sometimes even longer. When you put that type of work into something like this, you're gonna get much more longevity from it. It's gonna grow out much better. And just overall from the start, it's gonna look good. So, Kevin's a big pregame guy. He likes pregame.
That's the good stuff.
This is the good stuff right here. So now, for your hair type and this haircut, you can use a few different products, right? I have a product called Talc, which is literally a powder. You dab it on, it gives you instant results, a very matte finish, and you can literally do anything to it. Extremely pliable, okay? That is a great option for a hairstyle like this because you dab it on, you just work it in, and within seconds, it's literally got that texture. And it's a very, very matte finish. Something like pregame, which is great too, you know, you're gonna get a little bit more hold out of it, and you know, it's great for kind of keeping the hair up and having some texture to it, you know? So what I think is really, really cool is now will his hair stay like this the whole day with no product? It may not, but just by doing that alone, you could see, look at the shape in it, you know? And we're gonna work it through the hands and also in the fingertips too. You wanna also not just work the product in your palms, because when you think about how you're styling your hair, you're styling it with your fingertips. You're not taking your palm and going like this. You wanna work it through the palms, but also make sure you're getting the fingertips, because that's what you go in first, is like this. And I always suggest doing that. You go in with like a raking, almost like a claw, because that's what's, you know, and then the palm comes in. But the first motion you want to make with applying product is with the fingertips. So there we go. Now I'm just going to work this through a little bit, and then we're going to create some texture. Let's do a side profile here so we can see what we got going on. So now, look at just from the head shape alone. We've got so much more volume in through here, all right? We've created an amazing textured shape. You know, he could wear it kind of really textured and spiky if he wants to, or he can actually mat it down like this a little bit and give it a little more texture and make, you know, this kind of the focal point of the haircut. So even though it's funny because we cut more hair, but now he's got better styling options, which is interesting. So, and with the cowlick area, what we do now, the camouflage is you just make it part of the haircut. You know, that's how you kind of solve any of these little problems, is by just incorporating it and messing around, and now it's gone. But it's now part of the haircut. So all right, guys, so the haircut's complete, and he's falling asleep on me over here. All right? Anyway, so I just wanted to give Kevin the mic here so he can kind of share not only the haircut, but the experience of my haircut. You know, this is the first time I'm actually cutting his hair like this, and just from my approach, you know, maybe people that are watching this, like, why do I, you know, charge what I charge, the whole kind of experience. So I'd love to hear your input. Here you go.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I came in here to get a cut, and I'm really digging how it came out. Something I've always struggled with was, if you can see, the sides would always budge out as they kind of like grow out, and it would always kind of make my haircut a little bit more kind of jutting outwards. But the cool thing that Steve did is when I came in, he actually kind of like diagnosed my hair. So sitting around, he was like, all right, your hair falls this way, your hair falls this way, you got the worst cowlick I've ever seen, and my cowlick has been always kind of a struggling point for me, so he was able to work with it, and that's kind of why you can pretty much see him as a specialist, an expert in his field, because he's working with your hair, and he gave me a couple options, and he was like, but this is what I think is going to work with your hair, just because the way it lays, how stubborn it can be at times. You wake up with really bad bedhead sometimes just because of the cowlicks. So he was able to work with that, and honestly, I'm digging how this works out. And he said that it's just going to grow in even better. So even with his kind of cuts, you have a lot more time between cuts where you're still going to like the way you look, things are going to grow in a way you want. So I'm really excited over the next like four weeks or so, maybe even longer, because sometimes I go a while, but seeing how this grows in.
Awesome. Cool, man. I actually told him this is going to last about 4 years. Anyway, no. But because Kevin is about 7'3", and I'm 4'2", we got a problem over here, so I got to shrink down a little bit here. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave a link to his Instagram. I'll put his handle in the description below. He's definitely awesome. I suggest his services. If you are in need of any sort of coaching, nutrition, he really knows this stuff, so definitely check him out. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for more videos with a salon guy.